There's something powerful inside you, something ancient, and the moment you tap into it, everything shifts. You speak with more authority, you walk into a room, and people notice. You stop chasing and start attracting, and it all begins with one thing. Today, I'm going to show you the one shift that instantly boosts your masculine energy, effortlessly. Let's get into it. Section 1. What is masculine energy, really? Masculine energy is one of those concepts that gets thrown around constantly, in conversations, in self-help videos, in social media debates. But more often than not, it's completely misunderstood. People reduce it to cliches. They think masculine energy means being aggressive, being dominant, being the loudest voice in the room. They associate it with how much you can lift, how hard you can punch, or how far you can push people around. But let's be honest, that's not strength. That's insecurity with a loudspeaker. Real masculine energy. It's not a performance. It's not an act you put on to convince the world you're strong. It's not about domination or control, or trying to prove your worth through aggression. Masculine energy, in its purest form, is presence, it's direction, it's steadiness. It's being anchored in yourself so deeply that you no longer need the world to tell you who you are. It's the energy of the mountain, unmoving, stable, unshaken by storms. While everyone else is pulled by the winds of emotion, distraction, and chaos, a man rooted in his masculine energy stands grounded. Not because he's suppressing emotion, but because he's mastered it. He's not numb. He's just not reactive. This presence doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't beg for respect. It earns both silently. The man who embodies masculine energy doesn't seek approval because he's already aligned with something deeper than approval. Purpose. He knows where he's going. He has direction. And that direction is not imposed on others. It's lived through discipline, clarity, and intention. He shows up fully. He listens deeply. He speaks with weight, not because he raises his voice, but because his words are backed by something real. Presence, values, experience. This kind of man isn't trying to be masculine. He just is. He can walk into a room and not say a word, and people will still feel him. Not because he's trying to dominate the space, but because he's not trying to disappear. There's a calm certainty to him that people sense immediately, even if they can't describe it. That's the essence of masculine energy. It gives others permission to relax, to let their guard down, because without saying a word, your energy says, "You're safe. I'm here. I've got this." Now, here's the truth. This energy isn't exclusive to men. It exists in everyone, in different balances. But for men, especially in today's culture, it's been buried under performance anxiety, conditioning, and fear of judgment. And to reclaim it, you don't need to become louder or tougher. You need to become stiller, more grounded, more present. That's where it begins. Section 2. The one thing that unlocks masculine energy instantly. So let's get to the heart of it. What's the one thing that unlocks this kind of energy? What's the immediate shift that takes you from scattered and reactive to grounded and powerful? The answer isn't sexy. It's not a hack. It's not a supplement, a cold plunge, or some magical daily routine. It's this: stillness. Stillness is your access point. It's the door. And most people never walk through it because they're addicted to noise. They're addicted to movement, validation, input. But stillness, true stillness, is where your power begins to grow. Why? Because in stillness, your nervous system recalibrates, your breath slows, your mind clears. You're no longer reacting and you're observing, you're choosing. You move from compulsion to intention. And the world feels that shift in you immediately. Think about it. Who has more control? The man who constantly needs to respond, or the man who can pause, breathe, and respond only when it's necessary? Who feels more trustworthy? The One who fills every silence with noise, or the one who can sit with silence and remain unfazed? Stillness is not weakness, it's not passivity, it's not avoidance, it's composure, it's power under control. It's being able to witness your own impulses, emotions, and distractions without letting them run you. The modern world trains us to be the opposite of still. We wake up and immediately flood our minds with notifications. We scroll, we click, we react. We're taught to chase attention, to always be on, to never slow down. And in that process, we lose connection to our masculine core, the part of us that doesn't need constant input, the part that finds strength in simplicity. A man who practices stillness becomes dangerous in the best way, because he can't be manipulated easily. He's not led by emotion. He's not baited into drama. He's centered, calm, collected, and that's rare. And here's something else most people miss. Stillness isn't just about meditation or silence. It's about how you move through the world. Can you walk into a room and not need to prove anything? Can you sit across from someone and not rush to fill the space with words? Can you be fully in your body, fully in your breath, fully in this moment, without needing to escape? Because that right there is magnetic. People don't even know why they're drawn to it, but they are, because in that stillness they sense certainty, and in a world of uncertainty, people crave that. Stillness communicates, I don't need to chase, I'm already enough. It says, I'm not moved by your chaos. I'll stay grounded, and if you want, you can meet me here. And maybe most importantly, stillness allows you to lead, not by force, but by example, not by controlling others, but by mastering yourself. That's where your masculine energy lives. Not in force, not in performance, but in presence. And stillness is what gets you there. Section 3. The psychology behind its stillness is not just a trait. It's a psychological superpower. When you remain calm in the face of chaos, when you don't get easily triggered, when you choose not to respond to every distraction around you, you send a powerful message. It's not loud. It doesn't shout for attention, but it speaks volumes. To those around you, that message is simple. I'm in control of myself. In the world where most people are slaves to their impulses, their attention spans are short, and their need for constant approval is overwhelming. The man who can remain still, who is not moved by external circumstances, stands out. This man doesn't need to react to everything that happens. He is steady, he is grounded, and in doing so, he commands respect naturally. This isn't just abstract thinking or philosophical theory. There's real psychological science behind it. Psychologists have long known that calm, non-reactive behavior is a core characteristic of effective leadership and competence. Think about it. When things get chaotic, who do people look to for guidance? They look for the one who is unaffected by the storm, the one who seems unmoved by the surrounding confusion. Why? Because presence commands attention, trust, and respect. When you can stay calm and composed in any situation, people begin to recognize something about you. You're in control, and they feel safe in your presence. This leads to influence. Not the kind of influence that requires manipulation or force, but the effortless kind. The type of influence that radiates from you simply by being grounded and present. Respect leads to influence. Influence leads to effortless attraction. This attraction isn't limited to romantic connections. It also applies to social and professional environments. People want to be around those who appear composed, centered, and unshaken by the chaos of life. They want to be around those who are steady in the face of uncertainty. When you hold stillness, you build an inner magnetism that draws others toward you. It's the kind of attraction that doesn't need to be pursued. It's the natural result of your presence. You become the one people rely on, the one they want to follow, and the one they instinctively trust. Section 4. How to cultivate stillness, daily habits. Now that we understand the psychological power of stillness, the question becomes, how can you cultivate it? The truth is, stillness isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you develop. Think of it as a mental muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger and more effective it becomes. Here are 3 simple daily habits you can adopt to start cultivating stillness and integrating it into your life. Practice deliberate silence. The first habit is simple but incredibly effective. Deliberate silence. Every day, take 10 minutes to sit quietly with no distractions. No phone, no social media, no music. Just you, your breath, and your thoughts. Now, I know this might seem difficult at first. You might feel restless, your mind might race, and you might find yourself looking for distractions. But that's the point. We are constantly surrounded by noise and stimulation, and that makes it harder to hear ourselves. Sitting in silence forces you to confront your thoughts and feelings without running away from them. Over time, this habit helps to rewire your nervous system. It trains your brain to stay calm, even when the world around you is chaotic. You'll start to notice that you respond to stress or tension with more clarity, less reactivity, and more composure. The more you practice, the more powerful this habit becomes, and the easier it gets to stay still in other areas of your life. 2. Control your breath. The second habit is controlling your breath. Breath is the most direct link to your nervous system. When you're anxious, your breath becomes shallow and rapid. When you're calm, your breath slows down, becomes deeper, and more measured. To tap into stillness, you need to learn how to control your breath, because when you control your breath, you control your mind. One simple and effective breathing technique is box breathing. Here's how it works. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 4 seconds. Hold again for 4 seconds. Repeat this cycle for about 5 minutes each day. It's a practice that immediately shifts your energy. You'll notice your body starts to relax, your thoughts begin to slow down, and your mind gains more clarity. Box breathing calms the nervous system and brings you into the present moment, which is exactly where stillness thrives. Try it when you're feeling stressed, when you're about to react in a conversation, or when you just need to reset during a busy day. It's a powerful way to tap into your inner stillness anytime, anywhere. Pause before you speak. The third habit is something subtle but incredibly impactful. Pause before you speak. In our fast-paced world, we're often in a rush to respond. We want to be quick with our words, we want to be heard, and we often speak without thinking. But this is where stillness can be your greatest ally. By taking a brief pause, even just a second or two, before responding to anything, you bring intentionality and clarity into your words. This creates a space for your thoughts to settle, for your emotions to calm, and for you to speak with purpose rather than react from impulse. This simple pause does several things. It gives you time to choose your response rather than just reacting. It allows you to be more present in the conversation because you're not rushing to get your point across. It makes your words more impactful. People will feel the weight of your response because it's coming from a place of clarity and composure. This is where masculine energy truly shows up. A man who knows how to pause before speaking radiates confidence, patience, and control. People will start to notice the weight of your words and will listen more carefully because they sense that you're speaking with purpose. Section 5. From stillness to power. Let's be crystal clear about something. Stillness does not equal weakness. It doesn't mean being passive, stagnant, or doing nothing. That's a misconception that many people have when they first hear about stillness. In reality, stillness is the foundation of a different kind of power, one that is rooted in control, confidence, and clarity. Stillness allows you to act from a place of centered strength. When you're grounded in your own energy, you don't feel the need to chase after every distraction or react impulsively to external pressures. You become intentional in everything you do. You make decisions from a place of calm, not panic. And when you speak, you don't need to say much because your words are powerful and carry weight. Think about it. The most influential people aren't the ones who are constantly talking or always in the spotlight. The ones who truly command respect are those who know when to speak and when to be silent. They don't rush to fill the silence because they know the value of presence. When they do speak, it's with purpose. They don't waste words. And when they take action, it's deliberate and impactful. There's no second guessing. Their energy is focused. They are stable, grounded, and clear. That's the kind of power that doesn't need to shout or demand attention. This is real power. The kind that's quiet, the kind that doesn't get rattled or intimidated. It's not loud or insecure, trying to prove something. Instead, it's the kind of power that stands firm in the face of uncertainty. It's like a mountain standing strong in a storm. The world around you may be in chaos, but you remain unmoved, unshaken, and in control of your own energy. That's what makes stillness a force to be reckoned with. It's the kind of strength that moves mountains, not with force, but with quiet. Determination and clarity. Stillness gives you that strength. And with that strength comes the ability to act with precision, to respond rather than react, to choose your actions carefully, and to handle any challenge with grace. You don't need to prove your power because your presence alone tells the world that you've already got it. Section 6. Effortless attraction. Here's the paradox about attraction. The more you try to be attractive, the more you repel it. It's counterintuitive, but it's true. When you're constantly chasing after approval, trying to impress, or putting on a performance to win people over, it often has the opposite effect. People can sense the neediness, the insecurity, and the desperation in that energy. But here's the secret. When you stop trying to be attractive, that's when you become magnetic. It's not about doing anything special or trying to impress. It's about being fully present. It's about being grounded, calm, and self-assured. That kind of energy is rare in today's world, and it's deeply magnetic. When someone is truly present, when they're not thinking about the next thing they need to do or the next thing they need to say, but are completely in the moment, that energy is undeniable. It makes people feel seen, heard, and understood. They feel safe in your presence. They feel drawn to you because you exude an aura of calm and certainty. In relationships, this creates trust. When someone is present and fully engaged, you can't help but feel like you're their priority. There's no distraction, no scattered thoughts, just a deep, unshakable presence that makes you feel valued and important. In business, it creates leadership. People want to follow a leader who is present, who listens, who understands, and who makes decisions from a place of clarity. And in life, it creates influence. The most influential people are the ones who have mastered the art of being in the moment. They don't need to control everything or manipulate situations. They simply know how to be. People naturally gravitate toward energy that feels safe, solid, and unshaken. That's what stillness creates. And when you embody that stillness, when you are confident and grounded in who you are, others can't help but want to be near you. It's not because you're doing anything out of the ordinary, but because your presence makes them feel better. More calm, more secure, and more centered. You become a source of stability in a world that's constantly changing, and that's a rare and incredibly attractive quality. So the key to effortless attraction is simple. Stop trying so hard. Focus on yourself. Build your stillness, cultivate your presence, and the attraction will follow naturally. It's the kind of magnetism that doesn't have to be forced or faked. It's the kind that comes from being fully in the moment, grounded in who you are, and fully at ease with yourself. Section 7. Real-world impact. Let's talk about the tangible, real-world impact that stillness has on your life. Because while the concept of stillness may seem abstract, the results are incredibly concrete. When you begin to operate from a place of inner stillness, you'll start noticing changes in how you carry yourself. Your posture improves. You stand taller, more confident, and more grounded. It's as if the weight of the world has been lifted off your shoulders, and your body naturally aligns with that feeling of strength and presence. Your voice changes too. It doesn't get louder, but it carries more weight. The words you speak become more impactful because they come from a place of clarity and conviction. People begin to listen, not because you're shouting or demanding attention, but because your words have substance. There's an authority in your voice that doesn't need to be forced. And then there's your eye contact. It becomes stronger, more intentional. You no longer look around nervously or avoid people's gaze. Instead, you lock eyes with confidence and presence, sending a signal that you are fully engaged and unshaken. One of the most powerful shifts you'll experience is that you stop over-explaining, oversharing, or trying too hard to impress. You no longer feel the need to justify your actions or fill the silence with words. You simply speak with intention, and people respect that. Your direction becomes clear, and those around you take notice. You're not doing more. You're simply doing what's necessary with precision and focus. When you operate from stillness, you stop seeking validation. You stop looking for approval from others because you no longer need it. You are grounded in your own sense of self, and that is incredibly magnetic. It's the type of energy that draws people toward you without effort. Friends begin to listen more, partners feel safer in your presence, and opportunities seem to find you. This isn't some form of magic. It's alignment. It's what happens when your external actions begin to reflect the deep internal peace that you've cultivated. Stillness gives you the clarity to act with purpose and conviction. It allows you to navigate life's challenges with ease and certainty, and it's that same calm, focused energy that attracts others to you. Masculine energy in motion isn't about being the loudest or the most forceful. It's about being the calm in the storm. It's about moving through life with intention and without the need to prove yourself. Section 8. Closing message, your masculine reset. So here's your challenge. Starting today, take just 10 minutes to sit in silence. That's it. No phone, no talking, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. You might feel an urge to get up or do something else, but that's the point. Don't escape. Just breathe. Just be. In those 10 minutes of stillness, you'll begin to reconnect with yourself. The version of you that's always been there beneath all the noise. You'll tap into the core of your being, the part of you that doesn't need permission to lead, to act, or to simply exist in the world. The version of you that is whole, grounded, and at peace. Your masculine energy isn't something you have to build from scratch. It's already inside you, waiting for you to remember it. Stillness is the doorway to that energy. It's the path back to your true self, the self that is calm, confident, and capable of navigating the challenges of life without losing your center. So take the time to sit in stillness, to quiet the noise around you and within you. Let that space become your foundation. From that stillness, everything else flows. You'll begin to notice the shifts in how you move, in how you speak, in how people respond to you, and in how you experience the world. Your life will start to change, but it won't be through force or effort. It will happen quietly, powerfully, and effortlessly. The more you step into this space of stillness, the more you'll see how your masculine energy can transform your world. It's not about striving or pushing. It's about being, about returning to the core of who you are. And that's where true power lies.